What is up, guys, and welcome back to Induction Noise. And you join me today in a car instead of working on a car or talking about cars. Well, we are going to talk about cars. I mean, it's Induction Noise, we can't not talk about cars. But yeah, we are going to go to the Supra today. We are going to be working on a little bit. I've got some explaining to do. I've skipped a little bit ahead. Some of you might have noticed, like, there was an episode last week, you know, but that's all for good cause. Some say the podcast is on his way back very soon. So yeah, I hope you guys can hear me while driving. If a police officer is looking at this, I'm in Mexico. Yes, that is where I am. So don't worry about that. But anyways, so today we are going to be doing something a little bit different, and I just want to see on my GPS where I'm going. Today we are going shopping first before we go into the Supra, because we're kind of at that stage where it is, once a few of the bigger jobs is done, we can start looking at, we need to do the safety prep, we need to do the fluid changes, we need to start doing all of that type of stuff and start testing the car. So GNA Motorsport has a sale today. It's almost like a garage sale of an old stock, so I thought, you know what, let's go have a look. Maybe there's something we can use, you know, even if it's something as small as a tow strap to put on the car. Every little bit counts when you're building a race car, right? It tends to get expensive quite quickly. So any sale you can find is brilliant. You don't need to buy anything new always, or the most expensive stuff. Don't be afraid to look at sales, look at Facebook Marketplace. It's where half the stuff that we've bought has come from. So we're going to have a look. Maybe there's a sale on a few nice stuff. What would be nice if there is a sale on some safety equipment. Safety equipment inherently is one of the most expensive parts of a race car, you know. Proper 4-point harness is gonna run you close to $5,000 more or less for the harness, and a bucket seat, or not a bucket seat, a racing seat that's FIA approved, it's gonna cost you around $7,000 or whatever, which in dollar wise, let's call it, it's gonna be about $150, and it's going to be around about, I think, $400. My maths could be completely wrong, by the way, so don't trust me on that, but that's kind of what I have in my mind. So let's go have a look, let's see what they have for sale. And look, if there's nothing for sale we can use, it's still a cool outing. Always fun to go and see what Gunther has in stock at GNA Motorsport. And then from there we would go to the Supra, and I'm gonna have to explain myself a little bit, because the state the car is in now is not the same state you guys saw. You guys saw the brakes and the knuckles off the car, right? Yeah, the front brakes is kind of on the car now, so that's a thing, but for good reason. I had to have a look if the extended wheel studs we got would fit a set of wheels that we might purchase by the owner. So I purchased a set of wheels from Johannesburg, but that's on the way down. But we might purchase another set of wheels just for spares. When you run an endurance race, you always obviously want spare wheels because you don't want to be changing tires mid-race. So it's kind of like what I would consider the spares currently on the car, but they look phenomenal. It's the color we might change, but they look good. And it's also given me the indication that I need a 15mm spacer, so that's another thing we would be looking for today. So today's shopping agenda is 15mm spacer, any safety equipment, and maybe there's something cool. Maybe we see a blow valve or whatever, I don't know. You never know what's gonna happen. So let's shoot over to GNA and pick it up there. All right, cool. So we are here at GNA, and let's lock up And let's go and see what we can find. Let's see if we can find anything nice. I see down there is 3 to 8. Neil will like that, but the land of wonders. Let's check it out. Check this out. Some old school Kalani memorabilia. How cool is that? As you can see, there was quite a few cool stuff right in there, but the issue I did is I didn't take any samples with, so it's hard to cross-reference like old stock parts and stuff like that, right? So I think what I'll do is after this weekend I'll see, okay, what do I need regarding, like, you know, there was so many different brake pads, so not even just for the Supra, but for like the Alpha, right? Because it's such a it's selling at bargain price. No one, you know, it's stuff that it's not really flying off the shelves. So yeah, so I think what I'll do is I'll get some sample parts. Let's have like the old springs. Maybe I can get some proper Eibach springs here for, once again, bargain price. And yeah, so let's get to the check the old Camaro driving in there. Some pretty cool cars hanging about here. But yeah, let's get to the workshop and let's get to spannering. Here we are back at the workshop, and as I said, I have some explaining to do. So if I turn you guys around, check there. It's not our wheels yet, but it fits the brakes. There's kind of a few spaces there, but we'll ignore that for now. We'll have proper spaces made for these wheels. As I said, there is another set of wheels coming, so this is not the only final look it would have. You'll see the rear is still on the ground, but the front, if I just turn the wheel to the side here quickly, I don't know if I'll be able to show you. Nothing's hooked up yet, so I still need to hook up the brake lines, and that's kind of my idea for today. But they fit. After all of that trouble, we've finally got it working. So what's next? Next, we need to sort out the rear caliper, because what happened is the left rear was stuck on. Now we took the calipers to be refurbished, as one would, and they just basically said, no, sorry, we're not going to touch it further, we scared we break it. You know, fair enough, it's not their stuff. So I took it back. I started looking for Cressida brake calipers, because that's apparently what works. Bloody train. Cressida brake calipers is apparently what fits on here, but it seems from the 1,000,001 Cressidas that has been made, all 1,000,001 of their brake calipers has been taken. So I put the brake caliper in the press and it freed it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up the front lines, hook up the rear brake calipers and the rear lines again, and then see if the pressure of the brake fluid will push it out. If it pushes it out, I can have a look at how the cylinder looks and see if we maybe need to polish it or what we would need to do. So then if that works, we should have brakes all around, which would be fantastic. From there, it might get a bit more fun, because then we kind of at a point where we can drive the car, right? Minus the fuel tank. More information coming soon on that. Don't worry. So yeah, but then we can technically about drive it, and then the fun mods can start. We can start doing the interior stuff, and I mean, if you look at this, like, the interior is quite, well, full of parts and half stripped out. We want to get the sound deadening out. Somehow, I locked this door out, which sucks. And yeah, but then we can start getting all the sound in out, doing a bucket seat. I've got one more goodie here. Hydro. We're gonna have a bit of a hoon car on our hands, you know. It's a Supra, it's JDM. You can't not want to drift a Supra, right? That would just be lame. So we need to take it for some drifting, etc. So yeah, what I think I'm gonna do, and well, probably pick you guys up, is once I've got the rear wheels off, because together with the caliper we need to do the studs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the front, get the rear in the air, and then start taking the wheels off there, get everything hooked up. No, I'm lying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up the front calipers, then I'm going to drop the front, pick up the rear, and I'm going to see if we hook up the rears, if we can press that person out, as I said. So yeah, I'm gonna catch you guys once I've got the rear in the air, because it's gonna be a bit hard to film here when I'm connecting these brakes, maybe, I don't know. Let's see how the day goes, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. It's been a while, but as you can see, everything's still on here. What's happened is we've decided brute force is the way to get that caliper to unstick. And we've welded a rod inside of the center thing, whatever you call it. But check here, now what we're doing is we are polishing the I don't know what to call it. Anyways, you'll see it here now. Check here. Yeah, I guess that's the lemons way. We're not professionals, we're just making the stuff work. So there's no one else wants to either take responsibility for damage, so do it yourself. So I'm going to continue cleaning all this stuff. It's been a tedious process, that's why I haven't shown you guys any of it. But we'll get back to the car in a bit. Let me just get to some cleaning there, and then we'll see. There's plenty enough stuff to do.
1 week later.
Alright, so it's been a while. There's quite a lot to catch you guys up with. As you might see here behind me, there's nothing here. So we easily got everything, as you saw, out of the caliper. We got the stack cylinder out of the caliper. But when I went to do the extended wheel studs, I saw that I could not get the half shaft off, which for now is not such a big issue. But if you do break a half shaft at the racetrack, unfortunately you can't be struggling like this. You want to fix it immediately, and a half shaft is something that's not supposed to take long. So what we've had to do is to get the brake kit for the rear brake calipers, is we had to go part shopping. And we couldn't just walk in and ask for MK3 Supra rear brake rebuild kit, because that doesn't exist. We couldn't walk in and ask for a Cressida one either, which is what is supposed to exist, since there's millions of Cressidas in the world. So what we did is we got a generic just rubber seal, and then for the dust shield we actually had to go Japanese. We went for Mitsubishi dust shield, since that is the only thing that would fit the cylinder and has a seat in the caliper itself. So to finish this video off, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to rebuild this caliper, and then we've got new brake pads, so then we know the rear brakes should be finally sorted, and that should be the end of the brake saga that's been going on for way too long. So yeah, let's get to rebuilding these calipers. So what I've got here is some rubber grease, So we're just gonna give all the rubbers that we put in here some rubber grease on it so that we don't pinch any of the rubbers. Exactly the same as we did with the injectors, because the last thing we want is to pinch one of these rubbers and then obviously have them leak again since it's new. So I'm not gonna attack it with grease. I'm just gonna give it a little bit and start assembling this. See why we've got this here, because it does become quite a dirty job. But yeah, so you'll see inside of the caliper here, that second slot is where we want to seat this into. So all we can do is wiggle our way in there and walk it all the way around like that, and there it is in. So that is step number uno done. That was the easy part. Now comes the tricky part. We need to get the piston in, but together with the piston we want to get this dust cover in to make sure nothing gets in there, nothing hurts the sleeving of the piston. So what I've seen a few guys do before is what they do first is they would put the sleeve over the piston itself first, and then after you've done that you would start feeding in the piston, and from there putting in this little metal collar. So let's see if I can get that done without hurting anything. So yeah, once again just gonna lube everything up a little bit and start getting it on there. So let's try it. Here I've lubricated this up a little bit, and then now we're going to drop this in, and you'll see there's a little lip, that's where this ring will go in. So let's drop this in, seat this plastic, and then we can try and get this ring in. There we go. I'll show you how I got the ring in with the second one, but there we go, one is done. I think this ring is still needs to seat a little bit nicer. The ring that holds the dust cover in, I can still see it a little bit. We'll fiddle with that a little bit now, but one complete, one to go. There we go. So we've got the dust cover on the second one again. Now mind you, I was scared now, that's why I was walking away. It is a bit more snug than you might think. I mean, it's brand new rubbers to press everything in here again. So let's get that in. Look at how nicely that's sliding in. Then once it gets here, what I just did is I started running this rubber in to the groove where it wants to go and seat into. All that's left to do is the ring. So what I do is I kind of catch the lip on the back side here, get that going in there, get it all the way around, and then here in the front you're going to join it, get one of the sides in, get the other side in, and you are done. There we go, to rebuild calipers. So now once we have the half shafts and the hubs back in, we can put in new calipers, put on the new brake pads, we've got a tank on the way for it, we can finally drive the Supra. But I'm gonna leave it off for there for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was quite sporadic and over a few days, but until then, stay classy, San Diego.